You don't have to gamble with that. It's
All
just
right, we will
a game.
call the meeting to order. Kristen, would you take roll, please?
Commissioner Corbin?
Here.
Commissioner Johnson? Commissioner Waldner?
Here.
Commissioner Sill?
Here.
Mayor Lindsay?
Here. You have before you the agenda for this evening.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Seeing no appearances or acknowledgments, is there anything that anyone wants removed from the consent calendar?
Make a motion, we approve the consent calendar.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Seeing no old business, under new business. Authorize the mayor to sign the tender agreement, Old Security, Old Republic Surety Company, the 2017 Electric Distribution Conversion Project. And with that, I'll open it up to Chad or David.
I'm going to let Chad start.
Oh, very good.
Okay, thank you. This is related to the 2017 electric conversion project. There's a company that was hired a little bit last year, Fusion Automation, a bid of just under $300,000. Brad and his crews did the administration work on it. Brad can talk to all the challenges that he's had with that, but needless to say, they didn't get the work done, they didn't perform, and they didn't complete the project. The contract was terminated with them last fall. What had been paid out was about $155,000 out of the $299. But in addition to that, we withheld, after making a claim on the bond, about another $44,000 in round dollars due to them. So the total between those two numbers brings that to about $199,000 that is owed to them. We're holding again this $44,000 per direction of the bonding company, and so the contract balance available that was committed to the project, i.e., in other words, from the regular $300,000 is about $100,000. So the process is working with these bonding companies, which is the first time I've ever had to participate in this. I think Brad as well, perhaps David. But so we have $100,000 left in the contract that we haven't paid out. It's not owed to anybody. We're withholding another $44,000, of which $37,000 is actually available to them. So about $137,000. We have to hire a completion contractor to do the work. Do this year. Old Republic, which is the bonding company, has secured May Construction to do that. The estimated cost for that is about $116,000. So we have $137,000 to pay May, the $116,000. The remainder we can send back to Fusion if appropriate. But the agreement does say we'll send it back to Fusion. There may be some things that we can withhold as well. David can elaborate on that. But I know that was a kind of a real convoluted run through of the numbers. I did send you a memo to brief you on those ahead of time. But it's an unfortunate situation. We're fortunate to get this worked out. That May is doing it. We've been comfortable with them. They've done a lot of work for us over the years. Do good work. So these are some of the final steps to get it wrapped up, so to speak, so we can look forward to construction. It had taken a long time working with these different parties to get it to this point. So with that, I guess I can let Brad or David elaborate on anything as well.
Go ahead.
The only concerns that we have at this point in time is that from the crew's perspective is we will have basically 3 projects to complete this summer. We'll have the remainder of the 2017 project, the 2018 project, and the lighting on Center. Now the lighting on Center is a pretty small project. The only thing that might impact is there are some things we might have to do at the same time as we want to do some other things on the other 2 projects. So that's going to be the kind of the difficulty of this summer is trying to schedule all that in there. This appears to be somewhat complicated. It's actually fairly straightforward. We retained some money. We had money left over from the project that we didn't expend from 2017. Hire the completion contractor, get the work done. This is the first time I've ever done something like this with a company. Typically, they finish the project. They may be in penalty. They may lose some money at the end of it, but they generally have finished it. In this case, they were so far from finishing it that it was, we determined that we should terminate the contract and end up where we're at now. But I think we're in a pretty good situation here with May, and that we'll get this done, and it'll be done and done right. There is one item left that is not covered in this contract that we'll deal with separately, and that is the areas where Fusion had worked in 2017. Because they worked so late into the year and we got snow and everything, we weren't able to do all the cleanup and all the, reparations to the lawns and that type of stuff. There will be some of that work that is basically outside of the tendered contract that we'll have to complete. So I just want to make everybody aware of that there's that's kind of off to the side, because there was no way to really account for it because it was all covered in snow and we can't go out there and look at it. And there may be places where it has settled. There may be places where it's tore up. And so, it was hard to get a number from May Construction and put them on the spot for that. So we're going to have to do that more or less what we call force account work, where we got people and equipment and time, and we pay them for the work that they accomplish. So that's how the process will work.
I think they've done a pretty good job. I'll answer any questions if you have any, or try to answer any questions, but I don't have much to add.
And from the public standpoint, the electrical work that they did do a good quality. It's just that they took so much time off and just failed to get the job done before winter set in and before the deadline. So the quality of the work that they did is good. We don't have to go back and repair any of that. But it's just that they were not able to complete the project in the time allotted, and it was not a larger project than what we've had any other summer. And so the other contractors that we've worked with in other summers have been able to complete the job either on time, a little early, or maybe in a short extension. So it's one of those things that we're dealing with it, and what I feel too is the proper method. And May Construction has done this work for us before in the past, so we know when they jump on this and that they will get it done in the allotted time. So questions or comments?
I was just going to add, Brad, you've kept us up to date on that too, and we've given them chances throughout the summer, and they knew there was a couple times that was where, listen, this commission needs you to get out there and get the work done for our city, and they just weren't doing it. And plenty of opportunities I feel that they had. So.
Yeah, so they couldn't have thought to have gotten this big of a project done with basically being here 3 days a week.
Right.
And that's the thing that was disappointing. And then the fact that the owner, after repeated mentions that this project was in trouble and needed to be moved along, the owner, as far as I know, never visited the project site to see how things were going, never took interest in the project. So those two things were pretty good, notice that this project wasn't going to take off and go because they didn't put the emphasis on it that was needed. So that's my humble opinion on that. Just that, of what I observed, that they just weren't here that much and they didn't put the effort in on the oversight to move things along. So.
And I will also say that our city staff went above and beyond in spending time trying to get this project done with them. So we have a lot of hours and time that was put in on this project that's also not accounted for in this bid. But that's also, part of it is what it is. So.
Our recommendation is that the commission move to approve and accept the tendered contract or the tender agreement from Old Republic.
Mr. Mayor, I have a
Yes.
question. Is there, we're not going to have probably any trouble with May Construction, but is there a time limit that we can put on them on any new contracts since we went up against this where they got to work 5 days a week and from like 6 or 7 in the morning to 7 at night instead of midnight like they were a couple times?
It's hard for us to legislate. It's hard to enforce the time of day issue, but Certainly, these two gentlemen, Chad and Brad, can speak to the fact that almost all construction contracts will have a due date, an end date, and this one certainly will. And we'll also be receiving bonds as well from May, in the event that, the highly unlikely event we found ourselves in another
Right.
situation like this.
Like I said, we ain't gonna have no trouble with me, but, you know, these guys sometimes only work 2.5 days and back home they went, you
Yeah.
know? Instead of a 5-day work week, you can't get nothing done.
You're 100% correct.
That's hard to put into a contract and force a company to work certain hours, you know, it's kinda like telling a retail store to be open certain hours but I think the way we covered it is like we did. I mean, we went to them and told them and worked with them on that level and unfortunately they didn't heed the warnings and I guess this is why we have the bonds.
And they brought recommendations, and, they were the low bidder. And so, we took the low bid and took the recommendations from wherever it was that they had, worked before, and it came back and bit us in the back pocket.
Well,
So-
luckily, it won't bite us much in the pocketbook.
Right.
That's why we have bonds, and that's why we're in the position that
Yes.
we are.
Yeah, we're
This
still
is-
going to be able to get the project done within the
Absolutely.
dollars that we had allotted for it.
This will not be a financial loss to the city of Madison.
Right.
I'll make a motion, we authorize the mayor to sign tender agreement with Old Republic Surety Company, 2017 electric distribution conversion project.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 2, authorize the mayor to sign the agreement with May Construction contract for the 2017 electric distribution conversion project. And this is the portion that where May will pick up where the other one left off and complete last year's project. Is there anyone that wants to add anything to that? If not, do we have a motion?
So do we have a direct agreement with May, and the bonding company has nothing to do with this?
Oh, no, the bonding company is the one that set it up with them to
I
finish
get
the job.
that, but within this agreement, is it just between us and May?
Correct.
Okay.
We have a direct agreement with May, and May has issued us, or will issue us new surety.
After the project is complete, we will, we use up all those funds we're holding, that are, something happens, then the bonding company would
So
have to
we'll
cover
use the
the
funds we
difference.
still have, and then anything additional, the bonding company
That's
picks up
correct.
that expense.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to authorize the mayor to sign agreement, May Construction, construction contract for 2017 electrical distribution conversion project.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Declare as surplus property and appoint appraisers, Glock pistol model 22. And I'll ask Justin to address this, please.
Good evening. The purpose of this surplus request is to facilitate a trade of pistols between the department and a recently retired officer. He has requested to keep his service pistol that he carried while on duty, which is a common request in the law enforcement community. The officer has offered to exchange a brand new pistol of the same make and model that is owned by the department in exchange for his old duty weapon. This will essentially allow the department to swap a 4-year-old pistol for a brand new one of greater value. I did speak with Mr. Jakes on this matter. He agreed that it was possible to do this. An agreement has been drawn up that will be signed between myself and the former officer to facilitate this swap of weapons.
Yeah, and the reason they're before you is because it's a piece of property the city owns, and we have to follow the surplus procedure.
Okay, very good.
I'll
The
make,
city, I'm sorry, go ahead. The city comes out ahead on
Yep.
this. I just want to point out, the city picks up a brand new weapon, a brand new gun, and essentially gets rid of a new gun. So it's a swap that basically benefits the city.
At no cost to the city.
At no cost to the city and an added value, quite frankly. Yeah.
Plus,
And-
new weapons, so.
and I'll throw out that, I mean, this is a great kind of a parting thing that the city can do for an officer that spent
22 years with the department?
22 years within law enforcement, and that's huge. And I certainly thank him for his service to our community. He's sticking around. He's going to still be around in our midst, and so that's kind of fun too. So with that, I'll make a motion. We declare a surplus property, appoint appraisers, Commissioner Waldner, Chief Meyer, City Engineer Chad Combs for the Glock pistol Model 22.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Under announcements, absentee voting for both the City Commission and Lake Central Schools, and that began today. And people that want to absentee vote can do so either at City Hall or at the business office at Madison High School. So, seeing no executive session, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.